Hi, this is David Youngberg, Montgomery College. I'll be taking you through sensitivity and specificity. When we think of accuracy, when we think of if a test is accurate or not, we tend to only think of it as one idea, but really it can be broken down into two very different components. One is sensitivity, and one is specificity. Sensitivity is the test's ability to detect a positive state. In other words, if you have the characteristic in question, will the test identify you as having it? If you have the disease, will the test identify you as yes, you have the disease? If you are a drug user, will the test identify you correctly as having drugs in your system? Specificity is the ability to detect a negative state, to sort out the people who don't belong. If you lack the characteristic in question, will the test identify you as not having it, not having drugs in your system, not having the disease? So let's go through an example. I'm a huge nerd. And let's suppose I want to have a nerd party. In other words, I only want fellow nerds to be there. I want to be able to sort people into nerds and non-nerds. Problem is, when people walk up to join my party, I can't tell what they are. I need to come up with some sort of mechanism to sort them, so I can identify who's a nerd and who's not. Nerds can be over here, non-nerds over there. We'll have our party. They'll be behind the door talking about sports, celebrity gossip, or whatever they talk about, and we'll all be happy. So in order to do this, I need to come up with a question I ask them at the door. You can imagine me sliding the little viewing screen out to the side, ask them this key question so you can get to the party. So, question one, or let's try this as a question. Who is Luke Skywalker's father? The answer, of course, is Darth Vader. Good job. Now, if you ask nerds this question, all of them will get it right. It's very well known. And we would call this 100% sensitive. 10 nerds walk in, they pass the test, I correctly identify 10 nerds. 10 true positives, a positive result that is correct. 0 false negatives, a negative result that is not correct. In other words, turning away a nerd who's just perfectly good. If I ask a question of non-nerds, however, most of them will also get this correct. It's a very common piece of trivia. One person maybe won't. Now my specificity is only 10%. I've correctly identified 1 out of 10 non-nerds. And I have a lot of false positives, a lot of people who say are nerds but are not. 90% false positives. So the sensitivity is very good, but the specificity of this test is terrible. It's just saying basically everyone's a nerd. I won't get my nerd exclusive party. Okay, so let's try a different question. Test 2. Let's suppose instead I ask, in the Star Trek universe, how can one disable self-replicating mines, which are really nasty to disable. They stop the Dominion from coming through the wormhole for a while. And the answer, of course, is you use an anti-graviton beam. If you ask non-nerds this question, everyone will get it wrong. This is not well known. Specificity is 100%. You don't know the answer, you're not a nerd, and the person's like, yeah, correct, I'm not a nerd. Walk away. 10 true negatives out of 10 possible non-nerds. Specificity 100%. The problem with this test is that if I ask nerds this question, only a few will get it correct. It's a pretty obscure bit of trivia. And in this scenario, let's say 8 get it wrong. Now my sensitivity is just 20%. I have 2 true positives out of the 10 possible nerds and 8 false negatives. This is a pretty sad party. A lot of nerds couldn't get in. I just have a couple of guys talking about Star Trek. So that's apparently all they know. So I need a better test. Okay, something that strikes the balance. How about this one? What is the slang term for the purple object? What is the slang term? You're correct if you say it is a 20-sided die. but the slang term is it's a D20. If you ask nerds this question, most will get it right. A few might not. They might be more comic book nerds, or they don't play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, whatever it is. I have a pretty good sensitivity, 80%. Not perfect, but still quite good. If I ask non-nerds this question, maybe one will get it right, maybe because they watched this video. But most will get it wrong, as they should, because they're not nerds. Specificity is 90%. If 10 non-nerds walked in, 9 will get it incorrect, 9 true negatives. Only 1 false positive. Now I have a pretty nerdy party. Thanks for watching.